time to talk big savings, discount prices just for you. And to join us that, we welcome Village Management Services CEO Siobhan Foster. You guys are, and I was kind of joking around a little bit, but you guys are really kind of hyper-focused on finding ways that we can cut costs and increase efficiencies here in the village. Let's kind of jump into what we're doing here.
Great. So last week, the budget process kicked off for 2025. We had some presentations from the departments on their current service levels. And then the next budget meetings are coming at the end of March. The schedule's on the screen before you, but it's available on the village website under the news tab. So we just wanted to make sure everyone was aware that we've kicked off the budget process. And I thought it was a good time to highlight some of the things we're doing to reduce costs.
Yeah, so
there's some costs.
There's definitely some cost savings out there, right?
Sure.
And you're going to start with your office.
I am. As you mentioned earlier in the show, we've moved to electronic meeting agenda packets for the in-person board meetings. This will save about $25,000 annually. And again, everyone has access using their smartphones to the QR code and the electronic agenda.
Terrific.
In our office, we've also digitized the docent tours for prospective residents. This eliminates bus and driver costs for an estimated savings of $14,000 to $22,000 annually.
And that's just going to be something people can go online and take a look at the tour, and they'll be able to take the tour virtually, right?
That's correct.
Oh, terrific.
In our community services division, we now accept completed lease applications via mail or dropped off by the applicants. This saves printing electronic submittals, and this saves up to $16,000 annually. And again, eco-friendly, saves printing costs and toner costs.
And this next one really kind of jumps out at you.
So when Lisa Hart retired from Village Television, we hired two highly talented
Here we go.
on-air talents, Michael and Bobby Higgins. And by converting this full-time position to two part-time positions, we're saving about $50,000 annually. And this is largely because you guys come in, you get your work done, and then you're gone.
We're gone.
So we're saving hours, and that generally accounts for the savings.
That's right. I'm cost effective. I'm like you guys. It's like you guys got me at the Dollar Tree.
There you go. And then Village Television has also incorporated AI technology to generate closed captioning for all programming broadcast on the channel. And this saves about $50,000 annually.
Yeah, it's an amazing. It used to be actual live people having to type that stuff in, and it's amazing what AI can do in terms of cost savings.
Yes, so that's exciting. In security services, this one's a little off the beaten path, but they now can repair gate arms that are dislodged from the controller box and reset the gate arm system. This saves about $28,000 annually instead of having to call out the vendor each time.
Oh, great. Okay.
Security Services has also cross-trained patrol staff to fill in for dispatchers for lunch breaks and other breaks. This reduces meal penalties by about $8,000 a year.
So they can just do a little bit of everything over there, and that way they can help out with the meal penalties.
Correct.
That's a great idea there, too.
And then we've restructured the security services in this building, saving about $41,000 annually. We no longer have someone here full-time, but they're here on an as-needed basis with resident services backfilling. And again, that's a big cost savings.
Terrific. And another gate ambassador training?
Yes, so all of our ambassador training documents are now available electronically. Again, saving all that printing costs associated with their training manual.
It just makes so much sense. We've heard so long that everything in the world is going to be paperless, but we're definitely moving in that direction these days.
Definitely. And then in landscaping services, they're adding higher sides to their dump trailers to increase capacity for debris and mulch by 150%. This reduces trips, both to take debris back and to distribute mulch to the community. And this will save about $72,000 a year.
That seems like a simple fix and a big labor cost savings. All right, that's amazing.
And then our financial services department has identified a new washing machine vendor who provides direct shipping, which will save $11,000 this year, and then about $3,000 annually thereafter. It also saves about a week in delivery time.
Oh, wow, that's terrific for the residents, too, because I know they want those, when those things go down, they want them as soon as possible.
Correct. Also in financial services, they've stopped using manual receipts in resident services. It's now done electronically. So when someone calls finance for a copy of a receipt, they have immediate access to it rather than flipping through receipt books.
Right, and that's obviously also kind of great for the residents. So they don't have to have a stack of receipts they have to pile through. They can just have it there electronically.
Correct. And then financial services has eliminated the need for product purchase reserve checklists. This is kind of an internal document, but again, this small change saves $1,000 annually.
Mm-hmm. Terrific.
In our information systems department, I want to celebrate some of the good work by our employees. One of our employees wrote an in-house software program to replace the software used at the kiosk downstairs when residents check in. And this saves between $8,000 and $15,000 annually, and also offers increased reporting capabilities.
Wow, that's great that somebody could do that in-house and just make that happen for everybody.
Yes. And then our IS department also is building in-house microcomputers for use at the gates for guest lookup with Dwelling Live. And this saves $8,000 to $14,000 annually, depending on how many terminals are replaced in a given year.
Okay.
Recreation is managing golf operations and maintenance staffing during poor weather conditions. This saves about $1,000 per rainout day. We just ensure that the minimal personnel work on those rainy days.
Right. There's something you just can't do if you're there, so there's no point in keeping folks on.
Correct. Recreation and special events is also canceling events that have low attendance and or we're not breaking even. This includes the Renaissance Fair at the Equestrian Center, the June Splash Day, the Halloween Parade at Clubhouse 1, and the National Championship Game viewing at Clubhouse 5.
Oh, I hate to see those go.
But other events remain.
Yes.
And they're also adjusting events for cost recovery. The monthly dinner price now captures all costs associated with that, as does the registration fee for annual sale events.
Right, that just makes sense in terms of if you're not breaking even, you got to make sure that you're not going into the hole in those events.
Right. Recreation also adjusted the recreation coordinated classes paid instructors contracts. The 2024 contracts have been updated to reflect a 70-30 split. After many years, GRF only received 20%, so that's an increase in revenue to GRF.
Makes sense there.
And I also wanted to touch briefly on some process improvements that have been implemented. Most notably in resident services, we have a new callback feature which alleviates phone traffic during peak times. Residents who call in can elect to leave their callback number and receive a callback according to their place in the queue. And in February, we had a very rainy month, as you're aware. We had more than 1,000 callbacks, and the average wait time was 3 minutes and 40 seconds.
Yeah, that's terrific, and I love that service when I've had to call for some sort of service, and they say you can do a callback number. I always do that, because otherwise you're just sitting there and sitting there. That's a great service.
And we do want to remind our residents to contact resident services during non-peak times for the best service, and this is from 1 to 4 p.m. in the afternoon or during midweek versus Monday morning when call volume is the highest.
Okay. And then landscaping, more landscaping stuff.
Yes.
People love the landscaping around here, by the way.
So we have tested and ordered 2 Elliott Prof brush shredders that can be maneuvered to hard to reach areas and shred brush and eliminate costly trips back and forth. And then we've also are investigating a shredder that shreds directly into bags, reducing the handling time associated with clippings and debris.
Yeah, and that's great. Also, with the fire danger, you want to get all that stuff out of there as best you can. So that sounds like you get some good efficiencies going on there.
In general services, they've developed a rain gutter cleaning schedule that will assist the contractor and inspection staff to stay on schedule and then complete the annual rain gutter cleaning program on time. This is done in the fall before the rainy season. And then the schedule will also inform residents when to expect service at their manors.
Yeah, and that they always want to know that, so that's great too, for sure.
And then general services has implemented training for janitorial staff and developed a new SOP and web form to track performance with our contracted janitorial services, excuse me. And then our maintenance and construction department has developed a revised after-hours emergency plumbing policy. This enhances customer service, response times, and manages contractor expenses.
Right, and that's one of those things you never know when it's going to happen until it's happening.
Right, so they continue to work on that to get the process dialed in so there are fewer repeat calls and so forth.
Okay, fantastic.
Manor Alterations has also streamlined the procedure for processing mutual consents. This reduces processing time to 2 weeks or less from 8 to 12 weeks. So a huge improvement there. And then maintenance and construction is also working on getting rid of canceled or expired service tickets so we can focus on work at hand, not work that has already been completed or is obsolete.
And then the last one is how can residents help out in
Sure.
this whole cost-cutting effect?
So if you'll remember last budget cycle, we really pushed residents to receive their mandated November and April mailings electronically instead of via paper, which requires printing and mailing costs. We'll save about $7 per member each year if we do this. In November, for that mailing, we had about 29% of our owners signed up for electronic mailings. This saves about $27,000 annually. We really want to encourage our mutual owners to sign up for this electronic delivery, and they can do that by emailing info@vmsinc.org and help do their part to reduce costs.
Well, terrific. Well, Siobhan Foster from Village Management Services, our CEO. I know you have a meeting to get to, but thank you so much for coming in and sharing. This is some amazing savings, and you guys are doing amazing work down there.
Thank you, and hats off to our employees who are doing the great work.
Absolutely. All right, you're watching This Day. We'll be right back.